Hello everybody and welcome back to Alma. So to start this episode, silage was max price in the previous month, but it is still holding high at the moment. And so because we don't own any sort of bale trailer bar this, I think this is what we're going to have to use to take them to the store, to the BGA I should say, to sell, which I'm going to guess it'll be quicker doing it like this than if we were to try load it. Purely for the fact that this should just keep going all the time. Yes, it will make an absolute mess, but if we can get 24 bales, I think it's 24 bales onto here with relative ease, that would definitely help. So we've got these to put in, which there is 2.5, so I'd like to, if we can, sell all this now. And then we've got the goat's milk, which we have been leaving in storage. That wants to go to our dairy because I forgot that's going for the butter. Once we've done both those two jobs, then we can look to move on. Well, I'm so glad I decided to use this instead of load them all up with our tractor, because that would have taken a long time. And I was rather hoping we could drop the bales off, like you do if you were to take a slurry tanker, you can just pull up and unload. Obviously that's not the case, so we do have a load that we're going to have to go take our tractor to go load into the bin itself to sell. And whilst we're here, I do want to sell. If we zoom into here, so let's click that, let's reset it, because I have had a change of heart of where I'm going with machinery and what I'm using. So that is no longer needed, because we are going to go as big as we possibly can for next year. So we'll make our way over to the dealership, we'll get that into the sell trigger and see how much we make from that. So we will repaint and we will repair. Doesn't need too much in the repair department. Right, and let's get that sold. So 115,000 with all that. So we're now up to 310,000. We will go back to the yard, and in the next time lapse we'll take our old John Deere, and this will show you how painful it could have been. We'll take our old John Deere, we'll have to make sure it's got the rear weight on. We'll go up to the BGA, we'll lift those bales up and put them in to the BGA, so we'll get paid for them, and in the same time lapse we can then go back to the yard and load up the goat's milk and get the goat's milk down to the dairy that obviously we're leasing. I am also hoping that with it only being October, before we start planting again, we may have a lot of slurry to go at, so that we can start Oh, I don't want to block that weight off, it's just there. So we'll have hopefully have a lot of slurry to go at, so we can start loading that all, unloading it I should say, onto the fields. But right, let's turn this on just have to lift it up. We may have to check how our greenhouses are doing for manure, because that's what I'm saving. Well, I'm only going to use the manure at the minute for the greenhouses, and then I will, when we know that we've got plenty, I'll start to put it onto the fields itself. Right, let's go touch that on, and we will make our way over to the BGA, get that loaded, get the goat's milk loaded onto there and to the dairy. Well, this tractor's only very slow, so this could take it could take a short while. Well, for some reason it won't let us put the silage in, so we've had to, obviously, as you've seen, reload and then come back to here to sell, which is no problem. But what's nice is we're now over 300,000. So let's just get these tipping in. That's the whole trailer in there. So that's 50,000. We're just over 50,000 there. So we're now up to 362,878. So we will get ourselves back to the yard and we can go and sleep for the night and then see what the morning brings. I would like to start to have a go at that bit of forestry. So whether we rent something now, obviously we won't be buying because it's far too expensive, unless something comes in the sale which is well worth getting. So right, I will see you in the morning. Well, good morning and welcome to November. So we are going to start November with a very quick time lapse because I've just looked at the time saving stock check and it says that eggs are at their most valuable now, and we have quite a few. Well, we've got 2 pallets here, so 2,000 litres here, and then I think we have about 8,000 litres which we have already got out of storage. So we'll get them loaded all into our man van, and then when we go to sell these, we'll then nip to the store and we'll lease ourselves a forest harvester, wood harvester, however you want to call it. So this isn't the best sell point for us. The best sell point is to take the train, but that's always, I always find when you're doing pallets, taking the train, it's a bit more like hard work than when you're just selling grains and stuff like that. So the supermarkets, this is where we want to sell these here. So there isn't too much of a difference, but there's enough. So let's sell that. So there's 41, just over 41,500 plus 3.5 environmental score. And what I do think we would want for this is we have a hitch on the back. So if we go to the store, which luckily it's just here, I may buy a trailer. to go on this, so it just gives us a bit more room. And plus, I think we've in most of my Let's Plays so far, we've been using big sort of tractors, trailers and lorries, so I'd quite like to just use something a bit smaller for now. I do know we will have to upgrade it at some point. Oh, I didn't have a look at it. Oh, hello. This could be a very good shout. So, can we get... This is going to change a lot of things. So front bumper. Okay, so that's painted design 1, design 2, or we go for it non-painted. Let's just go non-painted at the minute. Grill. Okay, no. I am thinking let's go everything painted. We don't need that. Real GPS, we will have that. Let's go on to colours. So what does silver look like? No, definitely not. If we were going to go with a silver, we would want to go with a darker. Let's have a look at dark grey. That's getting a bit better, but we'd have to change the rims because those rims look awful. What about that? I think let's go for that. Let's go rim colour. If we go for the dark grey for rims. I think that looks alright. And then can we... I'd like to be able to put... to change the wheel setup, but obviously we can't at the minute. What makes me laugh is I'm just there saying about how how I'd like to go for something smaller, then we come here and then there's this in the store. Right. I don't like that hazard sign. How do I get rid of that? Right, we'll keep the front guard. Warning signs. Right, we'll get rid of that. And there's nothing else. We could put a sun shield on it, but I don't see the point. Oh, look at that. This is an awesome truck. Right, we'll scratch what I just said. This is what we're buying. We're going to buy that. This is a complete spur of the moment purchase because it was in the because it was in the store. Let's go have a look at it. So we will need to get a trailer for it, which probably would make sense now. Oh, look at that. This is the first time I think it's the first time I've used any of the Mercedes pack. So let's turn it on. That's amazing. You've got the live camera there, which if all these screens can now work, we've got the screen beneath it, which says everything that's going on. This screen here, obviously our rear screen, so now we can see behind us, which is amazing. And then our real GPS screen there. I really like this. That is really quite cool. But for now, let's just turn it off and we want to look at wood harvesters. So let's go into here. So we've had that one. These are, which is that one, I think. So that can do 70 centimetres, 70, what's the difference with these? So that's got a bit more horsepower than what this one does. And then these are two modded ones, which I don't really know what the difference will be. But we can go, this is what I'm going to go for. So let's lease this. We're going to have to make some money out of this bit of woodland that we're going to be doing. And now with that leased, we'll leave you there. And then we will jump into here. And we'll do the very, very slow drive down to the, unless, excuse me for changing ideas all the time. See, because that would be perfect for us to do all logs with. But I don't know whether, I'm just trying to decide what's the best thing to do. Unless I've made a really big mistake by buying this. Anyways, I think we are going to need it, and we're going to have to get... Let's just live with that. And low loaders. So I am thinking, which low loader do we want to go for? This is probably the best one for machinery because you can extend the sides. So let's 65. Hold on. Can we change the colour? See, I'm thinking of yellow. That's that's very bright. Let's give it a go. Let's buy that. Like so. And it means we can jump into here. I don't think this colour matching really works with this setup. So let's reverse this on. What? So what's compatible with this truck? Which truck have I bought? That one. Is that the only thing it can use? Right, well I'm going to have to sell it. Because this is, if it can't do that. Oh, this is so... I think this is the second episode in a row where I've had just problems. That's really annoying. I was looking forward to using this. I'm not going to sell it just yet. Let's get into this. I'm going to drive this down to the field. So we're going to have to start to... How do we let's unfold this. There we go. So I do prefer, when we are driving these, I do prefer to be in cab for it. It does make life a bit easier. Or I say a bit easier. So let's set it up. We want it to be 6 meters. So where is there? So Y, 6 meters work quite well. Turn on tree harvester, so that's turned on. And then let's now have a look. So let's go for this tree here. Why is that? Hold on. Right, so that may have sorted it out, and I'm hoping I've just set this on so we can line up onto the trees a bit better. So that's the tree alignment. Let's just drop it down. Brilliant. And then there we've got the cut with it all. Oh, that's interesting. So the cab doesn't move with the harvester. Oh, I'm not a fan of that at all. We may have to do this then, do the cutting from outside the cab so we can see. Well, at least if anything, it's confirmed to me that the John Deeres are not the ones that we want to have. Which is annoying because I've looked at them and wanted to use them for a while. So we'll keep some sort of a nice pile going here if we can. It's not going to be the greatest. Yeah, not my cup of tea, these ones, for that sole reason. Oh, hold on, let's get out of there. So this is how we're going to have to cut, which will make it a bit awkward. So I think I'll just take a few more trees out. It's not been so bad now. I'm actually been in the actual crane sort of camera, which does make life a lot easier. Because when you, I'd imagine if you had, well, I've got my Toby eye tracker. I reckon if I had that on, it would make life a bit easier. You know, so that wherever I look, it's pointing me to. But anyways, being on this camera here, I'm not complaining too much. And we've taken a fair amount of timber out of here. Like I say, we'll just do one or two more, and then we can have a look back at the damage we've done. Would I buy one of these John Deeres myself? Probably not. I'd probably go for one of the, is it Komatsu? I can't remember how you pronounce it. Well, how it's spelled, how you pronounce it. That's probably where I would look to go down. There are others on ModHub which I did delete, which I'll probably put those back in game because they were nice to use. I just don't like it when there's so much going on with them all. Like this is fairly bog standard. You get what you pay for pretty much. But right, let's get this one cut. It's just a shame these trees can't grow any more for us because the value in them is not a right lot. There's one, so we'll just take this one out and then we can leave it as is. Then I keep toying whether I should take off the alignment ring because you can disable it, and it's better so that you can't see it, I think, for immersion, but it's always handy to have just in case you do get stuck on any tree. Right, is that all the ones? We may be able to. I'm just trying to get a gauge, so we can't get that one. Can't get that one. I think that is all the trees that are in our line of sight without having to drive forward that we've got. So we'll just pull this back to here. Let's turn it off because we're at 0.3 hours. And we've hardly got anywhere into the wood, but we've done some cutting to get through to here. And my plan is that if we can just drive through, I imagine we will be selling that truck. If we do it, I'll probably just do it off camera, sell that truck. We'll get the wood transport one, which would make a lot more sense, because then we can also get the trailer. And with the crane being in the middle, you can load up both trailers. And then, yeah, so in the next episode, we'll probably do that. We will continue, try get to the end. So we're making what is called, well, what I would presume to be called a rack through here. But instead of thinning, we are just clear felling. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.